Well, praise the Lord, praise ye the Lord. Hello, 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 and welcome to Vessel of Hope. It's Tuesday, everyone. It's Tuesday, so I'm here to give you a Tuesday goodness, your Tuesday greatness, your Tuesday time to step away from the work week and what's going on in the world, which is a lot for us to have a conversation. Hey, today's the last day for election. For those of you who have not, for the New York State area, the New York City area, if you have not gone out and vote for the mayor, go ahead and do what you got to do. And for other states that are there voting for whatever you're voting for in your state, go ahead and do what you have to do, right? I feel like I'm doing a promotional special here. Your voice count. Your vote will count, right? All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming on here today. For those of you there that are on Facebook, go ahead and do what I need you to do for me. Go ahead and put the love and share. I know Facebook is doing something kind of weird there, getting the program up there, but hopefully you're able to see it for those of you on Facebook. And for those of you that are there on YouTube, show me some likes, go some like, and don't forget to subscribe to Vessel of Hope there on YouTube and share it on your YouTube wall. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome today. Welcome. I welcome you. You welcome me. We welcome each other, right? Thank you all so much for joining. So today we're going to be talking about spilling the milk. Spilling the milk, right? Spilling the milk. James Howell was the one who really gave the proverbs of this, but his exact words were, "No weeping for shed milk." Right? You know, we hear people say, and then now they modernize it and say, stop crying over spilled milk. But his original words in, I think it was 1689, he said this words is, "No weeping for shed milk." And it's interesting, right? About when you're talking about spilling milk and weeping for shed milk. But here's what it really means, what he was trying to give to people when he says no weeping for shed milk. He basically mean there is no use in being upset over something that has already happened and cannot be changed. Man, I said this is facts. You hear? This is facts. There's no use in crying over things or in getting upset over things that have already happened and it can't even be changed. So why are we crying? Like I always ask the kids, why are you mad? Why are you mad? What you mad about? What made you upset, right? So there's no use in crying over these things, right? This is true. So many times we can be angry about something that already happened that we can't change. And you know it's true. I'm sure it has happened to you before that you're angry about some things, right, Mother Dennis? That you just cannot change it. You're like, oh, you can't change it, but you're angry about it. You can't change the things that's already set and sealed, which is interesting in the world or in America today about laws that's already set and sealed that happened since way back when, the amendments and so forth and so forth, and now a lot of people, political parties may try to change some of these laws, and it's so and what's also interesting is that how we come around again and we'll vote new laws in or take laws out because it's not modern day or whatever the situation is. But here's the thing: you cannot change things that are already set and sealed. When something is sealed, back in the Bible days, when the king is decree and declare something, he put his signet ring on it, he sealed it, and that's it. It cannot be changed. But this is what's happened when sometimes when you're spilling the milk and you cry, you're weeping for the spilled milk, because what's going on now, because you can't change these things. So let's cry about it. But you gotta remember, it's already stamped and sealed. It's already set in stone. You cannot change it. Like you cannot change the sun to become the moon and the moon to become the sun. That's already stamped and sealed. That's already been settled when the Lord created in Genesis. Let there be the greater light and the lesser light. All of these things is already stamped and sealed. You cannot change those things. You cannot change the day you were born, right? You cannot change those days, because what? It had already happened. It already take place. That's what's done. And even when the mothers, those that are pregnant sometime, and the doctor tell you, oh, your baby's gonna be due on October the 2nd. And now we're in November and your baby still ain't coming out yet, right? But because what's that? Those you can change. Those are changeable things, even though they have a date. The baby's like, no, I'm not coming out. So we do C-section or endure or we induce the labor, all of these things. But hey, there's some things when something is already stamped and sealed or already done, it's can't move it. It's already done. It can't be done. Like it can be can't be redone or redid. Like being born, you can't change your birthday. Even death, you cannot change that lover not die the day that they died and say, oh no, let's resurrect them. This is not the day for them to die. What? These things are stamped and sealed. Right, so you're not gonna weep over these shed milk, because what is it? It's already stamped and sealed. Again, is no use in being upset over things, something that happened already, or it cannot be changed. It just can't. It just cannot be changed, or you cannot change the day that someone experienced something that altered their life. You always hear the people, oh, if I could go back, I could go back to this time, or go back to this day, or go back to this and then and when and change that. That's done. That's done. That's almost like living in the past, right? Living in the past, because these things, they're already done. It already happened. It's time to try and move forward, because this is what was there and this is what was done, right? So again, you cannot change. Those things are unchangeable. They're unchangeable. So what can you do in order to try to move through, right, the spilling of the milk? Right, you can try to adapt. You can try to adapt to the new, as they would say, to the new normal. It's almost like we talk about, sometimes we talk about with the pandemic. There was a lot of shifting there. There was a lot of things you had to now adapt to. You couldn't just go to the store like you used to and pick up whatever you want to. Now you have to go in lines and you had to wait. You're waiting in line forever and a day just to get toilet paper, right? You're waiting in line forever and a day just to get something, right, Sister Glover? Just to get anything. You're sitting there waiting in a line, because what was that now? Now you have to adapt to this new normal that we had to go through when the pandemic happened. So again, here, what you got to do, you have to try to adapt. So why people say, why when people would say, I wish I was born on this day instead? Well, you're not born on that day instead. You're born on October 2nd. So you just have to be grateful that you were born and appreciate October 2nd. Why? Because this is what your new normal is. This is what your life is. You cannot change that. Or I wish that person never died on this day. Well, they died on that day. You know what? Sometimes I find hard is when individuals or loved one would die on someone's birthday, or if someone that's a father, they died on Father's Day, or a mother that died on Mother's Day, or even on Christmas, like special occasion. That's tough. That's hard. But what is that? You can't change it. You cannot change that. You cannot go back and move those days, because this has already happened. Those are you, and you'll say, I wish this never happened. I wish we had a different end result of the situation. But it did happen. And this was the result of that situation. So now I have to try to adapt to this new result to see how I can process this and move forward from that. And what are these things called? They're called wishful thinking. Wishful thinking, but reality is that it is unchangeable. We all want a lot of things, or we wish for a lot of things, or we're hoping, Brother Perry, for a lot of things, or wishful thinking that this can happen, that we can, that it will be this way, that things will change this way today, and it will be different today. But what is that? It's wishful thinking because it already happened. What is today's date? The 7th? Nope. The 5th. The 4th, right? Today's the 4th. Thank you, Apostle. November 4th, right? We can't say, oh man, oh boy, I wish I could go back to November 3rd, 2025. Right? Because if I go back to November 3rd, 2025, maybe I would have tell Apostle, let's hurry and get home quicker so I can get into bed quicker and sleep a little more, right? Right? But that's wishful thinking. We cannot go back to yesterday. We're already in today. We're already in Tuesday. So we have to go forward with Tuesday and adapt and see how we can change that, right? So this is not crying over the spilled milk, because you cannot change what happened because it already happened. This is why I talk about spilling the milk, right? It already happened. But this is weeping over spilled milk. It already happened. It happened. We have to try to move forward with it and try to adapt, again, the key word here, to adapt to how we can proceed and process and move forward. But we are not talking about crying over the spilled milk. We're just talking about spilling the milk. All of those examples and what I said before, that was weeping over the spilled milk. But we're talking about spilling the milk, right? Spilling the milk. When you spill the milk, it can cause a mess. You ever, when you were younger and you're eating cereal, or you have cereal, and then you pour the milk into the cereal, into the bowl, and you pour too much and it splashed over, and you're like, oh, I just caused a mess. Oh man, I just made a mess here. What is that? You spilled the milk. You spilled the milk, you caused a mess. So spilling the milk can cause a mess. And what it does, it will cause you, now you have to go and you have to clean. So now you have to get up and go grab a rag and wipe down, Mother Dennis, Sister Glover, you have to wipe down that little mess you made with the milk, right? You get, I'll say this to myself, oh, I gave myself more work, right? Now you gave yourself more work because now you have to clean up. So when you spill something, or in spilling the milk, there have to be some kind of cleanup that happens. Right? When you spill it, you have to clean it up, right? And what is that? What is really spilling the milk and cleaning it up is you telling someone else's secret that they told you in confidence to others. That's you spilling the milk. You sharing some juicy details. You giving some juicy information because what? Because what happens is, Alexi, someone gave me this information. Someone told me something. So I'm taking all of this information that they told me in confidence, and now I'm telling to others. You're spilling the milk there. The lies that was imparted in the ears and in the ears of the listener. What is that? They're now opening their ears to hear all of the juicy details as the milk is being spilled, even those actions that were uncalled for. When you're upset with someone, Sister Lexi, you're upset and you leave and you slam the door. What is that? All of those are spilling the milk. Because again, what did I say? When you spill the milk, you have to go back and you have to clean it up. So all of those are spilling the milk. You telling others, giving information about someone else that gave you that information in confidence. Now you're spilling the milk. You at your actions, the things that you do, slamming the door, just simple things like that. Or I'm not gonna cook a pot for him because I'm upset. I'm not cooking nothing for him. I'm angry. That's spilling the milk. You know what? I'm gonna borrow their car and I'm not gonna put no gas in it because they made me upset. You bring back the car and that's spilling the milk. And what again we have to do? Go back and clean it up. This is spilling the milk, doing and saying things that will cause a mess, right? Right, Mother Dennis? Doing and saying things that will cause a mess. So let me get a sip of water here. The change of weather outside, the up, down, cold, the up, down, and the cold, and then we get back warm, and take another sip of water. Excuse me. So we're spilling the milk, right? When you're spilling the milk, is you're saying things or doing things or your actions that happens Thank you. Pardon me. My sinuses. Get a minute. Someone give me some water. Someone pass me some water. We'll be right back.
To destroy, but Jesus Christ came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. Can the church song that I am delivered? Can you say that I have been delivered? You have now given birth to something new. You have been set free, and today victory is yours. Today joy is yours. Today peace is yours. Victory is yours tonight. Just like the woman that has been.
Are you a part of the prayer line? Join Apostle Murphy and Sampson on the prayer line, Monday through Friday at 7:45 p.m., Saturday at 6:45 p.m., and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard.
We're back. Y'all, I know each and every one of you had that moment. You know when that cough just got there? Look at my eyes. Tears. When the cough got there and the tears come down, you're like, I want to say something, but I can't say nothing. But thank you all that said later prayer for me. Brother Perry, thank you for that advice to grab some tea. I'm going to grab some tea right after this. I appreciate it, Brother Perry. Thank you. Get some ginger and lemon and honey and drink it hot as you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Brother Perry. I will definitely do that after this to help me. Yeah, it's a change of weather. We were out of the country, so you move from one country temperature to another country temperature, so it kind of throws you off. So that just, and then I already have my sinus going on, so all of that change of weather. But thank you, Brother Perry. Welcome, Prophet Sharice. Welcome. So we're talking about spilling the milk, right? In spilling the milk, you have to clean up. You have to clean up what you have done, clean up the mess that you have made. Sometimes to clean up spilled milk, you can just wipe it down, right? Like I said before, you're eating cereal, you throw it in, Sister Lexi, and what happened? And it spills over. So you take a rag and you wipe it down, right? You wipe it down. But what do we not do sometimes? We wipe it down. What does a lot of people not do? They'll wipe it down and then they say, oh, they think it's clean. No, it's clean, but what? It's sticky. Now it gets sticky. The counter is sticky. So now you realize, Prophet Sharice, that you have to get cleaner, right? Some cleaning liquid and spray on it and wipe down the stickiness because you already spilled the milk there. So now you made a mess. And you wipe it down, and now you made more of a mess. This is what spilling the milk is. When it's sticky and you step on it, and now what happened? Now all of that stickiness, Prophet Sharice, is on the bottom of your shoes. Or Brother Perry, now it's in the bottom of your socks. So as you're walking about the house or walking about, you drag all of that stickiness, all of that mess around the house. You have just spilled the milk. You just made more of a mess of a things. How do you think rumors start? When milk is spilled. That's it. In spilling the milk, rumors will start. How do you think misunderstanding happen? By spilling the milk. This is why you always have to be clear in the things that you say. We talked about this a while before, that you have to speak for yourself. Don't allow others to speak for you, because what will happen? There will be misunderstanding. Even when you speak for yourself as well, there can be understanding. But you have to speak to yourself and say, this is what I am saying. This is what is happening. But if someone speak for you, what can that be? Spill the milk. Because now you have to go back and try to clean up what someone said. Clean up. When I messed up, that's my P song. Start it all out over again, right? But so now you have to go and clean back up everything that you just said, or all of the misunderstanding that happens. So be careful, right? When you spill that milk, how you clean it. because you can't just take a regular rag or a paper towel and just wipe the milk down, because it's going to cause more of a mess, because you're wiping and now you're smudging it. You ever had a misunderstanding in your life? Someone said something and you're trying to go clear up the situation, or you're trying to go change things around. I'm trying to see the name. Breed, right? Jay Breed. Jay Breed, you ever had a situation where something happened and someone said something or did something and you're trying to clear it up, but sometimes in your trying to clear it up, you make the situation a little worse because you're saying something and they said, "Well, no, but that's not what happened." And you're like, "No, but this really is what happened. This is how the event occurred. This is how that moment took place. I'm telling you, this is what happened." So you're trying to clean it up, but it's hard because as you're trying to clean it up, it seems like you're making more of a mess of a thing. You ever heard someone say that? You just made a whole more mess of the thing. You just left this place worse than it was before because what? You're trying to clean up the milk that was spilled. And of course, it doesn't, I can tell you just don't spill the milk, but that's not reality. Reality is milk will be spilled. Reality is you will be misunderstood. You're going to say something that someone will misunderstand it. Reality is someone's going to come and tell you a secret that they shouldn't tell. Reality is you might even go divulge some secret information to someone that you shouldn't have said, thinking that this information is loose goose. You can say it, not realizing that this is confidential information. That's reality. So you will spill milk. You might spill milk. You might have already spilled milk, or you will in the future spill milk. So here, when you spill the milk, go back and clean it up. And not only clean it up correctly, right? Sometimes all it really takes, as much as people will say, "No, can't believe they just said that and did that." No, sometimes what it really takes is just a sincere apology. Just going before the person and say, "You know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said this." You know, those people that share your information, that give out your information, and you're like, "Well, why did you say that? How could you say that? How could you go do that? And this happened." But you're like, oh, well, you know what? It just happened. It just happened. So what if I said it? So what if I did it? All you have to say is, "You know what? Let me try to clean up this milk that I spilled. And let me clean it up correctly. And in doing that, I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have said it that way. I shouldn't have done it that way. I shouldn't have shared your business. I shouldn't have reacted this way. I shouldn't have slammed that door. I shouldn't have had hit the cupboard. I shouldn't have backed into your car. I should not try to run you over with your car." You know, all of these things can clean up the spilled milk by just saying you are sorry. Spilled milk is a dangerous thing because of the mess it causes. Spilled milk is a dangerous thing because of the mess it causes. Probably Sharice, you ever had Dominoes? When I was younger, I used to love it. We get Dominoes and then we line it up, right? And then you hit one and then it just, and then all of it just fall. And it's nice to watch, right? Right, Sister Linda? It's nice. It's nice to watch it. It's nice to watch it as it falls. You're like, "Oh, that's exciting." But then now you have to clean it up. But that's how it is when you spill the milk. It can be dangerous. It can cause a rippling effect. And like I was telling Apostle today, we were having a conversation, and I was saying to Apostle, one person action can affect so many other individuals. One person, whether it be a positive action or a negative action, it can fall upon someone else, a group of people, or a household, or even a nation, right? Just by one action, because what could they go ahead and they spill the milk? And now they got to try to clean it up, but the damage is already done. You know how hard it is when damage is already done to try to clean up? It's like you dropping an atomic bomb in a country and then trying to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to try to take back that bomb that I just dropped." It's too late. The bomb is already dropped, right? You already destroyed a country. You already destroyed a nation. What can I do? What can happen now? Sorry's not gonna work for that. Like sometimes I'll say sorry ain't gonna work for this. Like if the kids do something really crazy, "Oh, I'm sorry." No, that sorry's not gonna work right now. That's not gonna work. Go and fix the problem. Go back and try to do better than what you did before. Go and fix the problem. So again, spilled milk is dangerous. It's a dangerous thing because of the mess it causes. The aftermath and the repercussions are hurtful, right? The aftermath and the repercussions are hurtful when you spilled the milk. because the damage has already been done. That person has already felt the pain. The hurt is already there. The harm is already there. It's like you're having a disagreement with someone or arguing with someone, and they said some things to you, and then later on they come and apologize again. I said it earlier. Spilling the milk. What can we do? We try to adapt, and then you apologize. But in some case or in some scenario, you said something hurtful. You did something hurtful, right? And the person come and apologize, and so on and so forth. You try to move on, but what happens if you're like me? When you see that person, I remember what they said to me. I remember how it hurt me when they said what they said. I remember what they did to me. I remember how I felt. I would hurt me when they did what they did. Yes, I forgive you. I move on, but the damage is already done. That's spilling the milk. The damage is already done. And even when you sometimes clean up thoroughly. Like I said, you wipe it down, you take the spray, you spray it down, you wipe it down, you make sure that it's not sticky anymore. When we came back from Cherise, my brother was here, we came back, and he said they had some kids over, and he said I looked at the island, and I said, oh no. he said I looked at us, and he said, oh no, it's sticky there. There's some stuff spill on there, and it's like, and it wasn't in one spot. It was like he said I had to scrub it down because he knew we were coming back. Apostle OCD was coming back, right? So he's like, I have to scrub it down. I clean it up. So what is that? The milk was spilled, mess was made. So he said I have to clean it up, and he didn't just wipe it out. He had to spray some stuff to make sure that it was secure. So again, excuse me, even though when you sometimes clean up things thoroughly, there may be those moments when you think about the time you spilled the milk and it messed up the floor or the carpet or your chair. A friendship with someone, if they when they hurt you, when something happened and they try to build back that relationship, you're a little cautious because what now remembering, I remember when they hurt me. I remember I trusted them and they did this. Now we're back. Now we're cordial. But how much can I trust them? Apostle, what was going on happening? Nothing. But he didn't do it. It wasn't him. He didn't do it. It wasn't. He didn't do it. He saw it. He saw it, and he cleaned up before Apostle come because I know what would have happened, right? Ooh, the kids did it. The kids came over and they did it. They were eating something and it just sticky stuff all over. Ooh, I'm telling you. You see, that's so funny. All our siblings, we know each other. So we already know. So he was like, nah, I have to scrub that down and make sure. It's so funny. And he was showing us how he was doing it. He said, I looked at him and I have to scrub that down. Right? To make sure the damage that was done, to try to rectify it. Even though here's a lesson to learn from that. Even though he wasn't the one, Prophet Sharice, he wasn't the one that did it, but he is trying to make sure that peace was made, that there wasn't going to be any kind of conflict, and we wouldn't have to come back and clean up someone else's mess. So he said, you know what? I was here when the mess occurred, so let me clean it up. So when we come back to a cleaner. We came back to clean a nice, spick and span house. It came back to a clean house because how we left it, and we came back, he made sure it was the same way that we left it. So what? Anything that passed by that was out of order, he made sure it cleaned up. They could have had a party here. We wouldn't even know. Well, Apostle would know because the Lord would tell her. But I'm just saying, they could have had a party here without our knowledge, and we wouldn't be aware of it. Because why? Because everything was cleaned up. So the aftermath, you don't know. So again, when milk is being spilled, in spilling the milk, try to go back and clean it up. And when you clean it up well, right? Clean it up well because things can get sticky. Things can still be stuck to the bottom of your feet, Mother Dennis. It can still be stuck to the bottom of your shoes, Mother P. So we have to go back and clean it up, right? Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this scripture here. In Proverbs 15:28, Proverbs Cherise. Let's look at what the wisest man says and this is something that we try to go by, right? Proverbs 15:28, Amplified Bible says, the heart of the righteous thinks carefully about how to answer in a wise and appropriate and timely way. But the babbling mouth of the wicked pour out malevolent things. So here, when you are wise, right? When you're a believer, the main thing is think about what you're going to say before you say it. Because what is Solomon said? The heart of the righteous thinks carefully about how to answer. So you have to think before you speak. He thinks to answer wisely. So, how do we avoid spilling milk? Think. Just that simple. How do we avoid it? Just think. And again, I said before, something could just go. You can try to be careful, but messes still happen. But how do we avoid it the most? Think. Think before we speak. When you think before you speak, you can avoid spilling the milk. Amen. Amen. That's all I have for you today. I'm going to make that tea that Brother Perry said, to put that honey and that little lemon inside and make sure it's hot and put it on my throat so I can make sure I try to help what's going on over here, my sinus and everything. But I thank you all so much. Thank you all for joining. www.hellomarcelsampson.com. Go ahead, if you haven't gone there, go there and check up and see what the blog that's been there before, and read it and let it bless your spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all for being here. Don't forget Facebook. Go ahead and love and go ahead and follow YouTube. Go ahead and like and go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for being a part of the family. Lord, I thank you for your people. Thank you that you took time out today to come and to just interact with me today as we have our conversation today. I thank you to continue to keep them and continue to bless them in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all next week. God bless you. Mwah. Love you. Bye now.